Welcome to Biz Coach and Coffee, where our guests are experts, entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants that share tips, strategies, and tactics to help small business entrepreneurs grow their business for long-term success. Please welcome your host, Biz Coach Steve Feld.
Hello, everyone. I'm Biz Coach Steve Feld, and my goal is to stop business owners from suffering entrepreneurial depression and start making running their businesses much easier. Business owners and entrepreneurs hire me to crack multiple 6 and even 7 figures without burning themselves out. Today, we have another great guest for you with Omu Obilor. Now, she runs Thrive with Omu. She is an international speaker, trainer, and coach, and the founding member of Maxwell Leadership Team. She's a neuroencoding specialist and a certified emotional intelligence coach. And she uses a variety of tools ranging to help her clients live their best lives and plan transformational retreats that produce optimal results. She is based in Nigeria and works globally. Please welcome Omu.
Thank you, Steve. I almost didn't realize it was me you were talking about.
It's always amazing that everyone should, and I say this is for business owners, definitely talk about your accomplishments. And it's one of the tools I use for business owners. It's like you don't realize all the great things you have done in your life.
Absolutely. You have to keep praising yourself.
Absolutely. Share your brilliance.
Absolutely.
Because someone out there needs it.
Absolutely.
Well, the first question is, so how did you get into what you do now? How did it all start?
Very funny. So I've always been one for personal development. I just always wanted more, but I never ever thought I was going to be a speaker, trainer, or coach. One, I'm extremely shy. 2, I'm not a fantastic networker. I just wasn't a people person. So it was never in my radar. I'd always studied John Maxwell's books. And then in 2011, they launched the team. So I joined purely to develop myself. I had no business speaking, training, and coaching. A year later, obviously, at the time, we didn't have Zoom. And we used to use the conference, free conference call. The internet was horrible. So on some days, you wouldn't be able to join the call and things like that. But like a year later, I started kind of getting into the rhythm. And of course, I had mentors on the team. But I suffered a lot of blocks, limiting beliefs. I just didn't think that anyone was going to listen to me anyway. So I would always, at every opportunity, coach someone without saying I'm a coach. And then I would find myself speaking at events and things like that without really also saying I'm a speaker or anything. I just didn't want to. I would rather you saw me as volunteering than you see me as someone who has actually studied it, because I felt you would judge me, you know. So that went on for a few years. And at the time when I decided that I should take it a little seriously, something I didn't add was I went on to do, so I go to the gym a lot and I'm always on one diet or the other. And people would always ask me, oh, what are you doing? And I said, okay, instead of telling people what I do, because the fact that I do it and it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you, I might as well study it. So I went on and did a certification in health, lifestyle, and wellness with the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. And so I thought, okay, that would be easy since it was my kind of natural habitat. But it still wasn't, which meant there was something fundamentally wrong. You know, so I realized I really needed to network. And I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to actually call networking I'm going to treat it like a major event in my life and actually learn it. So I joined BNI, came to Nigeria, Business Network International. Business Network International came to Nigeria and I joined BNI. And of course, in BNI, you have to stand up every week and give a 60 seconds presentation of your business. The first month, I almost ran out, but I had paid for a year. So I had to stay, you know. And as time went on, I kind of got used to speaking in public. And then a few months into being in BNI, they made me the education coordinator. So I had to train for 15 minutes every week. And I would say the rest is history because I now was able to network with people in over 70 countries. It broadened my horizon. I became bolder. I am now an executive director and the national trainer for BNI Nigeria. So I'm forced to train a lot of people and stand in front of a lot of people. So that's the story. And in a quest to give my clients a wholesome, balanced value for their money, I felt that I did the emotional intelligence certification. I also did a brain health certification with Dr. Daniel Amen as a brain health coach. But that's all. I mean, I don't treat it as individual certifications. I just use the tools from the different certifications to help my clients achieve success, whatever success means to them.
Great. Yeah, BNI, and I always tell people networking will get you out of your shell and get you to stand up and talk. There's Toastmasters is another great organization.
Yeah, Toastmasters is in my pocket. I actually have tried joining, but I just keep postponing it. Yeah.
What would your coach tell you?
Procrastination.
Yeah, do it.
Procrastination.
That's
Heal thyself. Heal thyself.
And you also brought up neuroencoding. Tell everyone what neuroencoding is and how you use it for either yourself or your clients.
So neuroencoding is it was created by Joseph McClendon III, and it's a form of NLP. I've done NLP and I've done neuroencoding, and they're both excellent. But I still say that my neuroencoding journey of all the certifications I've done has actually been the most rewarding. They made us work. So if you see anyone with a neuroencoding certificate, especially the elite neuroencoding specialist, the person worked hard for it. So neuroencoding is a little bit like NLP, where we use different techniques to help people stop limiting beliefs, to kind of stop their thinking pattern. When it comes to limiting beliefs, imposter syndrome, self-doubt, self-loathing, fear of success, fear of failure, and all that. And so we employ different techniques and we kind of work with the brain and get it imbibed in your brain. So I try to practice everything I learn on myself. If it doesn't work for me, I don't talk about it. So if I do a certification and I try to use it and it doesn't work on me, I'll never mention I did the certification.
That's it. If you don't believe it and use it, then how are you going to pass on that knowledge?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It's like, I coach business owners, entrepreneurs. It's like, first question I get is like, do you have a coach? I go, I don't have just one coach. I have many coaches and I pay them because how can I tell you to have a coach if I don't have one? It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
It's like, no, I believe in the power of the coach. It actually changed my life in one of my businesses years and years ago. And ever since that day, I realized I needed outside help and never looked back.
I don't know what I'll do without coaches and mentors in my life.
Absolutely. So important. We're going to take a quick break and get a word from our sponsor, but we're going to be right back with Omu. Today's episode is sponsored by Spotlight Books. Get your expert book completed in 30 days. If you don't have an expert lead magnet book about you and how you serve your market, then visit us at www.spotlight-books.com. The link is in the show notes. Put a spotlight on your expertise. And we're back. We were just talking about neuroencoding and how it can transform people's lives. Same with NLP, that neuro-linguistic programming, which I find fascinating as all can be.
Magical.
It is magical. And it's amazing how many marketers use that on us, the average day consumer in the world. And we don't have a clue that they're doing it.
It's funny, but when I'm training, especially when I'm training executives or speaking to executives, I use my neuroencoding techniques a lot, and they always just succumb.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's very, very powerful. Anyone who does negotiating, crisis situations, high stress organizations where you have to talk and communicate, they are all trained in NLP.
Yeah.
But who are your type of clients? Who do you serve?
So I would say that I serve people. For some reason. Women come to me a lot, but most of the executives that come to me are men. I serve people from between the ages of 30 and 60 who are struggling to find themselves and who are dealing with just wanting more. Like we say in neuroencoding, I help them go further faster. I said to the younger ones that I would help you go further faster. You don't have to make the mistakes that I made.
That's true, especially that's a good segue into this. What is a challenge or a failure that you've had in growing your business?
The challenge for what?
A challenge or a failure that you've encountered growing your business? Starting a business?
Several.
Yeah.
Several. So like I said to you, I was very shy. I was very shy and at the same time very bold. So I was very shy, but I wasn't willing to admit that I was shy because I wasn't going to let you intimidate me. So I was shy. 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I wouldn't be on this podcast. So that limited me because if you're not out there, so like when I'm training on networking, there's something called VCP. Visibility, credibility leads to profitability. So if I'm not visible, then how am I going to get to the credibility level? So that was a major problem for me. I just felt that, listen, look at what I write. I had a blog, I had newsletters, I had a website. You wouldn't see me on the social media. You would just see the letters. And I'm like, read it. I'm making sense. And then you come and look for me. And that was my attitude. But I knew it was because I was too shy to put myself out there. And that's greatly impacted on my business. The second one would be networking. I would not walk into a room that was filled with people. And then if I managed to walk into the room that is filled with people, I would look for one corner and I would sit there till the end of the event. You know, now you can't get me to sit down. I'm all over the place like a social butterfly. So that greatly hindered me.
Oh, excellent. What do you mentioned who your clientele is and why they're coming to you. What do you think is their number one issue that they come to with? I mean, they come with a lot of things that they need help with, but what do you think is the number one?
The younger ones, the number one issue they come with is lack of self-esteem. And I blame it, low self-esteem, sorry, and I blame it on this. So, I mean, social media is fantastic. But what it has done is a lot of us compare it with real life.
Mm-hmm.
So it puts them under a lot of pressure, and then they start to look down on themselves and compare themselves with what they see on social media.
It's funny you mentioned
with the 40, mid 40, 50s, it's usually fear of failure, fear of success, and imposter syndrome.
Yeah. I think it could be, how that generation was raised as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's how the generation was raised.
It's funny you mentioned about social media because I'm in a group and we have a social media coach and they live on likes. Whereas when I look at it, it's like I live on dollars, not likes.
Exactly. Exactly. I said to people that how many of those likes, say for instance, I'm selling a product
Right.
or service for $10,000 or $5,000. And then maybe I have like 20,000 followers or whatever. How many of those people would spend that kind of money? Because I said, even with my social media managers, and when we're talking, sometimes I say to them, I said, there's some services I offer that the chances of the person who would be looking for those services, looking for it on Instagram, would be very minimal.
Right.
So sometimes we need to evaluate where the person might be on Instagram because they want to just have fun and play and know what's going on, but will probably not be searching for that service on Instagram.
Couldn't agree with you more. Business owners.
That's what I think, but my social media people don't agree with me.
You got to know where your target market is. What platform are they on, and how do they like to listen to you? That's what I think is important, because I've had business owners going, well, I'm on Pinterest, Instagram, and then they name off all these lower ones. I'm like, why are you on there? Well, someone told me to do it. Well, what's the purpose of it? What's your marketing plan? I don't have.
And it takes up your time.
That's it. And you can't do business. It's like, find where your market is. That's what you should focus on. Forget the rest. You don't need to be on every platform. You really don't.
Yeah, it takes, for me, it takes up the time. It does take up the time.
Well, all our guests like to give our listeners something, to help them in their business or their lives. What kind of gift could you offer our clients or our listeners?
Okay, so the first three people to listen, or should I leave it open? Maybe it's unfair. Okay, so I'll leave it open. I will send my Calendly link, and for anyone who wants a 30-minute consultation with me, should fill it in the Calendly link, and I'll give you a code for the person to put so that I'll know that it's from this show.
Excellent. And we will have the links in the show notes so you could take advantage of Omu's offer, which is very, very generous. I know we're almost out of time. Any parting words, any final words you'd like to leave everyone?
My parting words always remain the same. Make sure you live your best life.
That's very good. Omu, I want to say thank you very much for being our guest.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. I had fun.
Oh, excellent. That's what we try to be. And for everyone, all our listeners, please make sure, if you like Omu and our other experts, to like and subscribe to whatever channel you are on and listening to this podcast. Please also drop us a positive note. Omu and I love to hear how great we are. We really do.
Yeah.
Be real about it, or give us some real feedback. But we love to hear from you. And thanks again, Omu.
Thank you.
All of our listeners. This is Biz Coach Steve Feld wishing you and your business much success.
We hope you enjoyed today's topic. If If you'd like to discuss how you can apply these strategies in your business, let us know. This episode is sponsored by Spotlight Books. Get your own expert book written about you in 30 days. Set yourself apart from the competition. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Also, feel free to give us your comments. We look forward to hearing from you on Biz Coach and Coffee.